It is YouTube. Looks like we're already. What's up, guys? Justin R. Harris here. Welcome back. Business scenarios based off of the Daily Drucker. You guys know the business platform here. It's a playlist, hundreds of videos. Now I can safely say the playlist is great because it covers just innovative thinking based off Peter Drucker's The Daily Drucker, 366 days of business scenarios, right? Phenomenal for just small business conversations. Some topics you need, some topics you've heard before, some topics you don't need at all, right? And it's just a free-flowing conversation following this book every single day. Maybe it's a motivational read, maybe you go audio with it, and you just take it moving forward. With this topic for today, right, we are talking about converting strategic planning into action, converting a plan into action. You know, it's like the saying, a dream is just a dream and doesn't become a goal until you set a date, right? You put a hard date on that. And there's more involved in that saying, right? So in order for it to actually become reality, when you set that date and not something that's unrealistic, is you kind of want to set small steps or small goals in between there, right? Small achievements that are going to help you build up to the larger goal. Then you look back and you're like, wow, I took all those baby steps, but you know what? Wow, look how far I've come, right? But if you keep looking backwards, then you focus on what happened behind you, and therefore you're not focusing on what should be happening in front of you, and therefore your goal seems further away, right? And then you start missing deadlines. So let's not do that. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Fail forward, right? You may not hit your goal or your objective, but you're a lot closer to it than you were if you never started, right? So that's a huge point there when it comes to that. What Mr. Drucker explains here is he says, the distinction that makes a plan capable of producing results is the commitment of key people to work on specific tasks, right? So although you may be working to achieve that plan, right, that you set into action, the people involved need to be just as driven as you, if not more. So you will need to set some incentives that make them want to be more involved just as much as you are, if not more, like I said before. Unless such commitment is made, there are only promises and hopes and dreams, right? You're just going on hopes and dreams. The worst thing you can do is give someone hopes and dreams, right? A plan needs to be tested by asking managers, which of your best people have you put on this work today? The manager who comes back as, what does he say? As most of you put on this work. I'm sorry, that comes back to them. I'm skipping lines, as you know, I cut back and forth to tell you guys. It's crazy because when doing this live, there's no editing, okay? You just make a mistake and keep it rolling. As most of them do, and says, but I can spare my best people now, right? They have to finish what they are doing now before I can put them to work tomorrow. It's simply admitting that he does not have a plan, right? So basically what he's saying is he's creating an excuse as to why someone hasn't jumped on the new project, right? And there's no plan there. You had no plan. You just thought about it as I brought it up to you, and I caught you in your BS, right? So he goes, work implies accountability, a deadline, and finally the measurement of results. That is feedback from results on the work, whether it is product and, you know, some sort of volume being sold, or results feedback from the consumer, right? He says, so what we measure and how we measure determine what we will be considered relevant, and determines thereby not just what we see, but what we and others do. Profound, right? So here's the action point. He goes, establish specific numerical criteria and goals to measure results. Set deadlines for yourself and your organization to achieve these results. See, the thing is it's just imagination, and there's no pressure. And with no pressure, there's no diamonds, right? No, with no pressure, people aren't striving to meet the deadlines. You have to set a hard date. And now you might want to set small achievables before that, like I mentioned before. So there it is in a nutshell. Thank you, guys.